Yo, 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 what go on, people? It's your boy Jason Gooner back in the studio, and you know what time it is, people. It's another tactical preview show. We're gonna break down everything you need to know for the Jamaica versus Nigeria match. Of course, that match will be taking place 12 o'clock tomorrow Eastern time, 11 o'clock in Jamaica, 5 o'clock UK time. um, Big up Jeremiah earlier checking in. Big up yourself, Jeremiah. Big up to Craig Taylor as well. Craig Taylor, 12 o'clock, that means it's going to be like, I don't know, about 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Bless up RR, where I say, bro. Big up yourself. You want to back for another one. So, people, you see the title, you see the thumbnail. Tactical preview show, Jamaica Reggae Boyz versus Nigeria Super Eagles. We're going to talk about the starting 11 for both teams and also talk about the key players, talk about my keys to success for the Reggae Boyz in particular. Yes, people, we'll briefly talk about as well the Ghana versus Trinidad match, which will be the third place playoff taking place in the morning. And yeah, we're also going to drop some score predictions as well for tomorrow because, sad to say, people, all of you that like to tune into the watch alongs, tomorrow I will not be available in the studio to do a watch along. I'll be on the road. So there's no way that I'll be able to do the game. Sad to say. Cry, cry, cry. Very upset about that. But tonight we're going to make up for it by bringing you what you're used to from Jason Gooner TV, which is the tactical breakdown. We have the tactical pad with the names loaded up. So we're going to put that on screen, show you guys how I think the formation is going to look, ways that we can hurt this Nigeria team if possible, and also ways to stop this Nigeria team, because I think this game is going to be a lot about stopping the other team as well. So Bravo Raid Squadron. What I was saying is Craig Taylor in the comment section was bigging me up. He lives on the next side of the world, and I believe they're like 15 hours ahead or something. So for him, it will be 3 a.m. on Sunday. Exactly. So that's what I was talking about, Bravo. Big up yourself. Yeah, don't never mean to confuse you. What you need to know, Bravo, if you're in this hemisphere, is me, Eastern Standard Time, it is gonna be 12 p.m. midday, 11 a.m. Jamaica time. That is probably more along the lines of what you need to hear, right? Yeah, man. Big up, Craig. All right, so people, we had the pre-match press conference, Steve McLaren. I'm gonna play some clips from that, right? I'm gonna play some clips from that just to get the show started out, let people roll into the building. I know, big up to Elite Sports. I know he's live right now, but trust me, I could not wait for the late night show tonight. I forget some sleep tonight. I have a long day tomorrow, so yeah, big up yourself, Ryan, but had to run out. I know that Jason Guna TV content, normally people will watch it back, so hopefully later on people will forward and big up Brent in the building. What go on, brother? We say Reggae Boyz trophy. Well, then can't take it from me, We know maybe it's not the trophy that the Reggae Boyz fans them want, but a trophy is a trophy. We Arsenal fans, we take any trophy. So that's it go. Now, yeah, I'm there, Australia. Sorry, I load up the thing, star, but yeah, Australia, I'm there. All right, so let me play some of the pre-match press conference that would have taken place today over there in the UK. I have the file right here, so I'm gonna play it. Yeah, man, kangaroo land him there. All right, so let's hear what McLaren had to say in today's press conference. Where is it? Where is it? And people are my Reggae Girls fans. We don't forget about the Reggae Girls. So the game is coming up on the Tuesday. So I'll definitely be here for a tactical preview show on the Monday. Had some additions to the squad today as well. Big up to Natasha Thomas and Tiffany Cameron. Added to the Reggae Girls squad for the match on Tuesday, June the 3rd. So look out for the preview show. And also we'll be bringing you the live watch along that Tuesday night as well, as we face the USA. So definitely look out for that content in the near future. All right, so let me, where is this damn press conference, man? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I also wanted to play a piece of the pre-match for Nigeria as well. But this is the Reggae Boyz press conference. Yo, BM, big up Mr. Man in the building. 4% APY with high yield cash. Channel Star. Hads. Alright, here it is.
It'll be the 21-year anniversary of the last edition back in 2004 with Jamaica.
Blue.
IG. This will be the 7th meeting between both teams and the 4th time in London, so it just goes to show how massive a sort of fixture that this is. Let me introduce the person.
Thumbs up if the volume good.
We're joined by
Let's drop a thumbs up, quick and fast. Like, share, subscribe as well.
Many of you remember him from Birmingham City, Fleetwood Town, Blackburn Rovers, and most recently
Simon, the information man.
The manager of Jamaica senior men's national team, Coach Steve McLaren. So to commence proceedings, we kindly ask you to raise your hand, and once you're indicated, then you can pose your question, whether it is to Coach McLaren or to Captain Amari Bell. So who would like to start this afternoon with your commence proceedings?
I guess I'll start.
Gary, you want to start?
Sure. Amari, congrats on being named captain for Unity Cup. How's it going? How was the first week as captain and basically leading the ship?
Yes, it's been great. Obviously, it's a huge honor to captain the country. Things are made up, so I'm embracing the opportunity. I think me and the boys.
When I hear that, right?
Enjoying the time here, to play overseas, but feel like we're back home too. It's been great.
Yeah. And after the first game, like, is there any? How's the guys feeling? Are you guys more upbeat?
Big up Melshire.
Second game than you were the first game. Like, what is the vibe like right now?
No, the vibe is always good. For the first game, it was great. I think it's just gonna be the same.
The vibes.
Everybody's in high spirits. Win games. Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Yes.
This one's for Mr. McLaren. One control the bench we Sport TV. Mr. McLaren. First
Better.
How Jamaican. Thank you for being Trinidad Tobago. She lost the record now, so over our Tobago, my friends and family. How when the Uni Cup?
Man said, thank you for beating Trinidad and Tobago.
Tomorrow again.
Yeah, we said from the very beginning, I can't remember who we played. I think we had Trinidad with the local camp. And we said, you play for Jamaica, there's no friendlies. You've got to win every game, because that's what the fans demand, that's what we demand, and that's what the players demand, that's why they play the competition. So, I don't know about Mario or myself, but, we've never probably played in friendlies. You always want to win, put you in a better mood. So we want to win tomorrow, obviously. Of course we do. We in good spirits, as Amari said. I think we kind of built that over the week. We were a little bit quiet at the beginning, only one day to prepare. And I was a little skeptical what we would do, but I was pleased with, especially first half performance. We brought in 2 or 3 players now, so we have a full complement, which is always an advantage. Another one coming up this afternoon, so it would have been ideal to get them in at the beginning, but by the end, we've got there with 23 players, and we do want to win.
All right. Go ahead.
Hi, Steve.
So he talked about finally getting to 23 players. We heard today that Dwayne Busy Atkinson and Malik Madasil were added. I saw Michael Hector in the training, but I don't think he's actually added. I didn't really get that sense. And also what was a bit surprising was that I haven't seen any kind of actual news from the JFF socials, basically saying, these players have been added, which is kind of strange because typically they would put that type of stuff out somewhere, whether it's on their Instagram, Twitter, even in the story, but I haven't seen anything like that. I don't know if I've just missed it. Maybe somebody in the comment section can tell me, but I've pretty much been looking all day to see the official announcement of who was added. I did mention that the reggae girls were added because that's all I've really seen so far. But yeah, let me know if you guys heard anything besides the two names I saw. When I saw Hector, I was wondering why we're calling non-league players. Damn. Well, I guess call them in the area maybe, But yeah, I don't think Hector was like officially added though. I just feel like he was there to train and just be around the team because he did have his kit on and everything. I saw that, but I never heard his name really added to the list. So yeah, let's play some more of this before we move on.
My name is Leif. I'm calling from Sport TFM in Accra. We watched the Nigerians take on the Black Stars, the 1-2-1. What did you make of them, and what's your plan to take them down on Saturday?
What I liked about the game was all the staff obviously wanted to see the game, but I think we had 16, 17 players. I think we only had 17 players anyway, so I think all the players as well wanted to come to the game. So, that's a huge testament to the players and what Jamaica means to them, and also they want to see the opponent what they're playing tomorrow. So I enjoyed the game. I think it was a game of two halves, but both teams were strong. Nigeria, the winners obviously, were very strong. Premier League players, good players, very well organised, very athletic, very strong. And what I liked was the spirit that they showed. They were together, and they fought together and played well together. So this is going to be a huge test for our players, a huge test, but one I'm looking forward to see, because the players that we've got in the squad, some are established, like Amara, and have been established for quite a few years, but we've got quite a few who we're looking at. So if we can come out of the Unity Cup, 2 games, great experience for the Jamaican players coming here, great experience for the UK players with their families and their kids who've never seen them playing live in a Jamaican shirt. It must be, Amara will probably tell you what it feels like, but everybody's so proud to represent Jamaica in the UK, in London. And we don't want to let anybody down tomorrow. We want a good performance, and as usual, fight together.
Just before we take the next question, very experience of playing again for Jamaica on the island, in America in the World Cup, but to play in England as well, seeing the support, just your thoughts on how Tuesday night unfolded.
Yeah, I thought it was, even I think I touched on it before I was playing back on the island, so the support was crazy. For the UK based players, we gained a huge sense of pride, and the atmosphere was amazing. So yeah, it was really enjoyed it, and also looking forward to tomorrow as well.
Go ahead.
Yes, this is for Coach McLaren. I'm Shino Larry. I write for flashcall.com, and I'm a very, very big fan of your work. And my question is, how does this match fit into your longer term vision for the Jamaican national team?
I think, as I said, I think we're here because of the.
Good luck, everyone. We have a black and little boy here.
Of the UK-based people who live here, 500,000 in London, over 2 million around the UK. We came here for them, not as an exhibition, but to show what Jamaican football is all about. So we've experienced that. We like that. We've brought a mixed squad of experience and young players and players who we've been following for quite a while, trying to recruit. Burrell being, an ideal candidate for that, to give them an opportunity. And we're going forward to the goal, which is World Cup qualification. And we've got that next week. And we want 1 or 2, hopefully 3, who can become permanent members of the squad and give us extra energy that we need. So it's an ideal opportunity. The established ones to keep their fitness, and there's quite a few who've got an opportunity that are seeing for the first time. They need to take it and get involved with us going all the way through.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi Steve, Amari, Michelle Chicago with from Olympics.com. I want to ask a bit about the pressure and expectations from the semi-final to the final, because of course you had the game on Tuesday night, the first game in tough conditions, playing in front of a home fan for the first time in this tournament. How does it change with the pressure going into the final now? Does he feel more confident? Does it feel like there's less pressure going into that from both a player's perspective and a managerial perspective?
Yeah, I think obviously when you win games, you always gain confidence. I think obviously we put pressure on ourselves anyway to first win the first game and in the second game. So I don't think there's any difference in pressure in that sense that we want to win. Obviously our supporters expect us to deliver a good performance on one as well. So I think, as long as we're focused and we do what we know we can, we put ourselves in a real position to win more games.
Yeah, I think 2 games for me. We're experiencing 2 games which will be very different. The Trinidad, we know Trinidad. We played them twice in January.
Trinidad.
And they're from the Caribbean, so we know that. And now this will be a different test against the Africans. And if we want to go forward and if we want to qualify for World Cups, this experience will prove invaluable towards that. So, we never forget where the goal is. And along the way, we're milestones, gaining experience, and trying to get better.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, listen, Steve. My name is Eddie Kondo. I'm from Ghana. I want to find out, what have you identified about this Nigerian team that you think will be of benefit to your team playing against them tomorrow?
Yeah, obviously coming to watch. And the nice thing I liked, as I said before, was all the players coming as well. So, we're going to review the game, talk about the strengths and weaknesses of Nigeria, but, I spoke to 1 or 2 players already and what they think, and it's great that they see it and they know what to expect. So a little bit of information about them, but they know enough now that they know that this will be a tough game. It will be a different game because I think, we saw in Nigeria they were strong, they were quick, they were fit, and they're players who played in top clubs around Europe and the Premier League. So, our players, we haven't got many in the squad who have done that. So it's a great experience for them.
Hi, Ibrahim from Black Things UK. How do you prepare players mentally for a game that has such cultural weight? So it's both for Steve and Mari.
I think, players, you have to kind of drive yourself mentally, you have to get yourself right, and obviously we kind of use each other as well. So obviously, it's the team, and we have to feed off each other and pick each other up when we need to. And obviously, as the more experienced ones, kind of use our knowledge to help the less experienced ones.
Hi, a question for the captain and for coach. Coach first. You were stating there's no friendlies. The performance of Jamaica against Trinidad was excellent, a lot of flair, a lot of energy. How do you think the crowd kind of fared with that? And also, as you said, a tournament like this, it's not necessarily friendly. How does it prepare your team for your World Cup bid?
They should not just, for the likes of Amari, who's experienced and used to this, but
blessings to all.
Going through the likes of Burrell, who've not experienced this before, and also the players from Jamaica. I think 9 or 10 now in the squad, and that's half the squad. They experience in the UK and what football is really all about. But what I loved about the other night was the atmosphere. And, you know, we went 2-0 up and we should have had more. But all of a sudden they come back to 2-2. And amazingly, the crowd really stayed with the players. You know, there was no...
Son, forward again with the same foolishness, you know. Big up yourself, son.
To get a winning goal because the crowd drove us on. It wasn't a carnival atmosphere. It wasn't that. It was what I call a true Jamaican atmosphere in which everyone just smiles, wants to be proud of the team, and obviously wants to win because that makes you united.
Yeah, and so for the captain now, how is it playing in front of such a crowd at home in the UK with a big community?
Yeah, it was amazing. Obviously for me personally as well. Some family members there who had seen me play for the national team, so you know, it was a great achievement in that sense. So yeah, obviously looking forward to the next game on Saturday. And yeah, it's going to be amazing. I think, you know, like Coach said, the crowd will really give us until the end. And, you know, maybe another help us to get a third goal. It was just, you know, that's what football is about. And never giving up and keeping going until the end. And yeah, to celebrate it was great.
Thank you, Jeff. After the coach, captain, not all from the BBC World Service. I'm Ghanaian, so it hurts me saying this, but Nigeria and Jamaica are cultural leaders when it comes to music, entertainment. So I wanted to know, because there's stars from Jamaica, such as global artists, Pop, when he was around, Spice was wanted to attend to this as well. Are you aware of the responsibility in terms of the expectations that's on the Reggae Boyz' head to meet this, as well as when I say meet this, they're already at the top in terms of culture. So with football, it's the nation's most passionate sport. So are you aware of this? And if so, how are you kind of like dealing with this responsibility to deliver for the nation?
Yeah, it's been a learning process, I've got to say. You know, Amari will probably say the same thing. I've been in the team a lot more. It's very different coming from the UK to Jamaica. You have to embrace that and you have to adapt to that. And you may have your ways, but you have to adapt and change. And we're now, you know, in the Jamaican way. And that's what I love when the UK players come over. That the experience of meeting each other, the energy in the room. You know, that's the real strength of Jamaica. For me, on the island, is the energy that everybody transmits. And that can be positive energy, negative energy, it doesn't matter. It's just passion.
At least you know.
Which is there. But I think the other thing, it's great for the UK players, for their families, one, to see that, you know, every month or 7 times in the year, they disappear for 10 days. And I wonder, what are they doing for 10 days? You know, why are they traveling 10 hours to a small island and playing in the Caribbean? And so they would have seen that, not just playing in a Jamaican shirt, but also surrounded by people. My family mentioned it, that the atmosphere was totally different.
This is a prison in a 10,000-meter deep abyss, home to the world's most dangerous criminals.
Totally different than any football match they've been to in the UK. So for everybody to experience that, you know, we understand, and I'm getting to understand and adapting to the culture, to what it means to the people of Jamaica, not just on the island, but around the world. And we want to deliver something special. We hope to do that. We hope to do that together.
Can I just follow up? With regards to the Jamaican way that you referred to, you've been in the spotlight when it comes down to pronunciations and accents with your time at FC20. I just wanted to ask you have you familiarised yourself with patois in there?
No, I think CEO is the only.
Just one more. Just about.
Man, love to seal it up.
Just about how you're preparing with the team now of the Nations League and how important the Nations League has been to carry.
The World Cup qualifiers is next, and then the World Cup.
But also the Nations League.
Nations League not until 2026.
I know.
Simon, I say, yo, brother, we are asked, but
I know that. What I'm trying to say is how important, from your opinion, is the Nations League to develop Caribbean football, to have, teams like this and get them to play maybe 6 or 7 times a year.
Yeah, as many times you can play together, they've got to do that. And that's why this tournament's been very good. And we haven't had all our best players here and a full contingent of the squad. That will be next week. Next week is massive for us. The Gold Cup is going to be a great experience. We want to do well in that. And then hopefully qualify for the group stage. And the group stage becomes very important. We've got 3 camps. We need to deliver results. And we've got a good opportunity to qualify for the World Cup 26.
Last one.
Sorry, a follow-up question. Nigerians always have the
Yeah, for Steve, we spoke a bit about it at the start of the press conference about appointing Amari captain. Apart from the leadership traits, can you tell me what else makes him such a good captain for the national team?
I think as a captain, many captains have many different captains. They've got to have the respect of the teammates, all of them. It's not good having half the dressing room respecting him and half going, well, I'm not too sure about it. And that's what he's got. He's got a full dressing room. He's played in the Premier League, he's certain stature. Amari's one of them that I always say, 7 out of 10 every week. 7 out of 10 every week. You don't have to hit the heights of 9 out of 10. You don't have to go below the heights of 4 out of 10. 7 out of 10. That consistency breeds respect from everybody else. The way he applies himself in training and in games. People have to follow that. And when I look at what does an ideal footballer do, make the most of their talent, work damn hard to get to the top of that talent, the best that they can possibly be. And Amari has done that. And that's got to rub off, and that's his responsibility also to make sure that, hey, we don't do it this way. Hey, we do it this way. Hey, we do it that way. Hey, coach wants it this way. And Amari knows me now over 8 months that he knows what I want, and he can deliver that to the players.
Thank you very much, everybody. See you all tomorrow.
All right, so that was a press conference. McLaren, Amari Bell. I'm sure Steve McLaren might enjoy those a little bit more. The ones where they're in the room asking him the questions, you won't have to worry about hearing some of the, the harder questions coming from the Jamaican journalists, right? Back home when they do the Zoom press conferences. But yeah, I think, it was basically mainly about the atmosphere, how the players and the coach felt about, playing in front of so many fans in London, the diaspora fans. They asked as well, about how big it is culturally, these 2 teams that are, or 2 nations, I should say, that are like at the forefront of music and culture. What is that like to play a game of this magnitude against an opponent like this? So I think that they basically were mainly setting the stage for the event and the spectacle of it. It wasn't much football per se. Now, he did mention, why Amari Bell was his choice as captain, which I thought he said some really good things there about Amari. You could kind of see Amari there trying not to have a reaction, but I'm sure he must feel proud when you hear your manager say, yes, I know I'm going to get a 7 out of 10 from this player right here. Like, I know I don't even have to worry about it. I know that's what he's going to give me. So that's a great vote of confidence to him, give him some confidence. I do think that the player needs confidence right now. I think, he's had a bit of a struggle with injury this season with Luton in and out of the team. And of course, with Luton getting relegated, him out of contract there. So I know right now it's probably not the best headspace for him as a footballer. So to get the honor and the privilege of being the captain in this Unity Cup, and also like hearing those words from the coach, I'm sure that's good motivation for him going into tomorrow. I mean, he's a professional, so he's going to show up and turn up. But I think with him, that extra confidence won't hurt him, especially his game right now. So I like the words from McLaren there. As I said, press conference, I hadn't really listened to it in full until just now, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. But as I said, there wasn't really much I would say, boy, we have to talk about this and discuss this. You know, it was pretty vanilla. You know, a lot of questions about the atmosphere and the feelings of the players in terms of playing against Nigeria and stuff. He did say something though that stood out to me when he said there are no friendlies, right? So a lot of times we'll talk about you know, well, I don't know if we'll talk about, but sometimes you'll say, yeah, it's just a friendly or whatever. But he basically can see the importance of every game at this juncture because pretty much it's do or die windows coming up. I mean, the Gold Cup is not so much a do or die, but at the same time, that's the last thing you'll have to remember before the final round, hopefully, of World Cup qualifying in September. So I would think he would want to you know, go into that World Cup qualifying with a decent feeling coming out of that Gold Cup. So while if I was prioritizing, I would definitely say the World Cup qualifiers take precedent over anything. I do think, you know, in terms of a Jamaica team that can do with as much reps as possible under this new coach, I think, you know, the further and deeper of a run we make in the Gold Cup, the better it will be for our preparations moving forward, September, October, and November. As I said, you know, hopefully by November of this year, we are all, you know, just celebrating and saying, yes, we're finally in another World Cup. Now, of course, it doesn't have to end right there in November. There will be an intercontinental playoff, I want to say, in the March window before the summer, when they will find out the last teams, I think, in the World Cup. I want to say that's when that will take place, but don't quote me on that. But I haven't looked into that, people, because I don't want Jamaica to have to go there. We just want to win that final round group and get to the World Cup. But yeah, that was the press conference for Jamaica. Before we get going into the tactical preview, we're going to pull up the teams on the screen and talk about the starting 11s from my perspective. I wanted to just talk a little bit about our opponents, Nigeria. So Nigeria, people, I'm going to play. Yeah, I saw that. I saw Guatemala is playing El Salvador tomorrow. So, of course, why that's important for us, people, we play Guatemala on the 10th. If you didn't know as well, people, yesterday I watched a little bit of the BVI versus St. Vincent game. Whew, it was a hard thing to get through, I must say. Not the best quality, but BVI had the lead well into the second half after they succumbed to a brilliant goal from St. Vincent from outside the box to make it 1-1. I think it ended 1-1. That game did, but BVI drawing with St. Vincent in St. Vincent. So, you know, we just played St. Vincent twice, and it wasn't the easiest for us. So BVI, you know, I think people are already putting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 past them. But let's play the game first. Let's play the game first. We always say that about him, though, steady Eddie. Yeah, most people do. I heard some rumblings like, you know, we need to start looking elsewhere after the last game, and I just didn't see that drastic of a bad performance. I will say that it did look like he tired a little bit in the second for sure. But I think that was most of the team, to be honest, about 65, 70 minutes or so. You know, a lot of the legs were gone for a lot of the players. So yeah, Gold Cup and Stanley Cup coming back up north. We the North. An NBA title. OKC Canadian. Come on, man. Them should have stay have no, that's not why are they okay Canadian? Why? Is that close to Canada? Why would Oklahoma City be considered Canadian? Are you just trolling? Or maybe I don't know something. I thought the Grizzlies was the team that was there. You could have said Memphis, because they were Vancouver once. Okay, MVP Canadian. Okay. The man have the MVP winner on the team, so he might claim the title. Yo, must, you know, easy, you know, man. I remember when we struggled to beat Dominica and DR last year. Don't remind me. But they told me that we don't need our players because it's just Dominica and Dominican Republic. Oh, boy. And then when I tell them, say, oh, these guys have some decent players, you know. They're like, what? 5th division in Spain? I say, all right. Go on top, man. All right, so let me play this for you guys. This is actually the pre-match for my boy, the name Eric Shell. right? And this is what he had to say. If it would play. Download. So let's hear Eric Shell and Moses Simon of Nigeria. So that should give us a hint if Moses Simon going to start. Usually, if he's in the press conference, he's probably going to start.
So, let's get going.
Again, I'm happy to hear what you're expecting tomorrow. So, once the atmosphere, the crowd, and what sort of desires are obviously and relatives. What do you think will happen tomorrow?
Our first goal with God, what is United, is to work about our game project. So we try to forget the result, try to be focused on our team, on our guys.
So you hear that right away. So, you know, that just shows you the different mindsets of the two coaches. So McLaren said, you know, there's no friendlies. Basically, you know, we have to win games. We have to win games. We have to get prepared and get in the habit of winning. Eric Shell, he said his most important thing for this Unity Cup itself is working on the game model, working on the project of the game, and don't get too caught up in the results. So that should just show you the difference in mentalities of the two coaches as far as it relates to this Unity Cup.
We need to win, but there is a good team like Jamaica. There is a good staff, a good coach. It will be a great game. But our second goal is to prepare the World Cup qualifier. So
So basically, he's torn because as soon as I pause and I play again, the man say, but we also know that it's a final, so we have to prepare to win the game. So, you know, he knows like the overall picture is really about preparing the team for the next World Cup qualifiers, you know, and I'll tell you guys in the video. I'll show you what they're doing in the World Cup qualifying. They're right now really struggling. They're gonna need to really step it up if they're gonna make the next World Cup based on where they have placed themselves after the first couple of rounds of matches and stuff. So he knows the importance of that next window for Nigeria. Agreed.
And of course, we are prepared. We know what it takes to finally get Nigeria.
You know, BM, that's interesting you put it that way, you know, because I actually think that was the time when Hal Grimson said, forget this crap. Because he's probably thinking about it and saying, John Star, like, I can't, these guys, they can't even get me the players that I want for a World Cup qualifying game. Because remember, you know, a lot of the people in and around the JFF, you know, what they were saying at the time was like, yeah, we don't, the narrative was we won't need our top players. We won't need all our players because of the opposition. So I think he was probably telling them like, no, you're crazy. Like, we need to make sure we have our best team. And when they couldn't agree on that, and like, you know, people, it was almost as if, you know, let the guys get extra time off. He was probably in his mind saying, no, we need to put our foot down and tell the players to come. And they're probably like, no, you know, we have the players here we can use, let them get their extra time and they come in whenever. And I honestly feel like that was where the things kind of fell apart. Right there, so. Because I think what he did, like those two games, and then after that was what, the Gold Cup? Was that how it went? Yeah, he did. Or what was the last thing he did? Anyway, let me play this. But I just feel like that time, I think they were at odds with the philosophy, like what they were gonna do. And he is under fire but what's crazy is he's under fire and like the man barely start coach. I mean, him never really lose the bag of game them. Eric Shell. This man only coached he's only coached 3 games. So I mean, damn, how is he under fire? He won 1 game and he drew another game and he beat Ghana in the Unity Cup. So if he's under fire now, that's really messed up. I mean, he didn't get them into this messed up predicament there. It wasn't his fault. But I guess somebody have to get the blame. Yeah. Yeah, hope Jamaica. I would love if Jamaica got Toronto because Jamaica would have great support. Is Suriname, Curacao, Guadeloupe, and Martinique allowed to qualify? I know Suriname and Curacao are. I don't think Guadeloupe is in this World Cup qualifiers or Martinique. I don't think. I know Guadeloupe for sure, but Martinique, I feel like both aren't. Does anyone remember that Trinidad's goalkeeper is almost 41? Yeah. Yeah, so Marvin Phillip really wasn't supposed to be keeping in the game. It was going to be Denzel Smith, who has been their starter for a couple of, I wouldn't say years, but he's been their starter before. And I think he just pulled out at the last moment. So they went with Phillip. I thought they might go with Saint Hilaire because he's a bit younger, but I mean, Phillip is way more experienced at this level. I think Saint Hilaire just getting started out. So maybe he decided to go with the experience instead of the giving a new guy that opportunity in that game. Bring back Shaka for real. Yo. Who that? Big comedian. Big up yourself, I hope you and your wives them good. Bless up, Conrad. Bless up, Conrad. So you say, a year done, but at the super sub now. All right, big up yourself, Conrad. I don't think so. He was given the Ireland job before the summer. He stayed because he wanted the Copa America on his resume. Yeah, that's right. It was the Copa after the damn World Cup qualifiers. That's what it was. Nah. I don't think so. Well, look, clearly both of us are saying what we think. So I mean, you can think that, and I'll think what I think. But yeah, Netherlands allowing and France not. Basically, maybe the Dutch are just like better. You know what I'm saying? France too bad, man. Yeah, man jump right in the fire, brother, because it's not even him. But him look like him ready for the fire still. Him is no nonsense, man. You want to see how the man look on the report of them in a little thing like him want to fight them. The man look serious, star. The one thing Osimhen did say right when him forward, him say, yo, one thing about this coach, him serious.
Javon Crouch with Benji Sport TV. My question is for Moses. Moses, how would it feel to obviously win the Unity Cup, beating Jamaica? You know, the big rivalry between Jamaicans and Nigerians, and especially in London.
Of course, I'll feel good. Jamaica have a good team, especially beating them in the final. We all know it will not be easy.
Bless up, Gooner Town.
Coach, they have good players, same like us. So we will see.
Coach, my name is Nathan Kwao from Sport EFM in Accra. When you played against Ghana, you started really well, and in the second half, Ghana took control. What would be your approach to ensure that the same thing doesn't happen against Jamaica in the final tomorrow?
But you know, the reality, we made this game to prepare our team. So in first half,
that would have bad. Them for do that.
I must change in the second half. This is not a substitution about the game. Guys knew that they come in second half. So we were tired because some of my players had a long season. So I think it's normal, but now we need to improve in his philosophy, in his game project. Maybe we will be better, maybe 16 or 17 minutes tomorrow. We need to improve to keep us whole. The reality after that result we won. So we're happy about that. There is a lot of great things during this game. We have a lot of weaknesses too, so we continue to work. We are happy to be together and work together.
Yeah. Coach, my name is Eli Kondo from Ghana, Max TV. I want to find out from you, what do you think would be the antidote for your team towards beating Jamaica tomorrow?
I don't want to talk about that. The reality is I need to be focused on my team, about the game of my team. I don't want to talk about Jamaica because I'm not the coach of Jamaica. The most important thing for me is how my team play this game, how my team improve every day after the training session. It's most important for me.
Hi, Abraham from Black Things UK. Moses, what do you think tomorrow's game will tell the world about Nigerian football?
Yeah.
What do you think tomorrow's game will tell the world about Nigerian football?
To tell the world, the world knows about national football already. But it's not about the unity cup and one another national football.
This is Moses. I'm Shino from philosophies.com. And Moses, tomorrow you're making your first cap for Nigeria, and no doubt you're one of the leaders in the Super Eagles. So the question is, how do you view your legacy in the national team, and what motivates you to continue representing the Super Eagles?
Okay. You say later one, if I play. Because it's the question. I like that. If I play.
Man say if you play.
It will be, of course, my family, most especially my people back home, the nation, and where you come from. This motivates me.
And what do you make of your legacy? Soca for Super Eagles, 81 caps, which is not an easy feat.
Of course, it's not easy, but it's not something that's easy. You just keep going if you think about your past. How you get to this level. Can I add something? I'm so proud of Moses.
Yeah, so I just see a question there I want to answer. Can you say if this CONCACAF rated points up or down? So yes, there are FIFA points on show or up for grabs in this because it is an official FIFA friendly. So yes, you can get points from this that can affect your rankings. Now remember, I don't know if it affects the CONCACAF rankings per se, but I know that the draw for the final round of World Cup qualifying will be based off of what the World Cup or what the FIFA World Rankings are, once the window closes, right? So after the games, June 10th, 11th, whenever those games are all played in CONCACAF, they will do the final drawing for, the final round of qualifying, which will be 3 groups of 4, right? So 12 teams will get through from the 6 groups now, and then those 12 teams will split up into 3 groups of 4. But remember, pot 1, right, because there'll be 4 pots, so pot 1 will be the 3 highest ranked teams as of June, I think it's 10th or 11th, whatever the last day of the qualifiers are. And then, right now, of course, Jamaica is in that pot because we are ranked 3rd out of the teams left in World Cup qualifying. So Panama and Costa Rica are ahead of us, and then Jamaica. So we have to basically stay ahead of Honduras, I believe it is. So as long as, I would think, even if we were to lose, which I don't want to lose, but if we were to lose to Nigeria, and then let's say beat BVI, beat Guatemala, I don't believe Honduras can catch us. Based on my calculations that I had made, I just don't think there's enough points for grabs for them to catch us. But I don't want to say that for sure, because I could have been doing the calculations a little wrong when I was doing them, but I don't think I was. But to answer your question, it's FIFA points. The CONCACAF part of it, I'm not really certain. I don't think so. I wonder what DJ and Andre Gray contracts look like. Will they be playing? Well, I know DJ has a contract until 2026, I want to say. Andre, I don't know if when he signed with them, he just signed for the season or what. But let's see. I'll tell you in just a second. Yeah, so Andre actually has a contract until June 2026 as well. So they can start to talk to other clubs now. But, after getting to the first flight, I don't know why they would want to leave now. But let's see. But they're both under contract till 2026. Mothersill or Cova. Different positions. So it just depends where you're talking. 50 people, 4 like. No, sir. Yo, that a go on, pan what a go on? I can't 4 like that, brother. I refuse to admit. I refuse to accept that it's 4 likes on the video. Let me look. All right, 44 likes you mean for type, which is not good enough either. Because we should have gone to at least 75, 80, Ravel turn close and now have to play his part. Yeah, man, that's how it goes sometime, man. You have to play a role, I think it's crazy that DJ cannot make this team. Agreed. And I kind of wish that I had asked about DJ, because if every time people ask about a player, them get put in the team, I would have asked about DJ too. Because he should be there as well. It's true.
I'm so proud of Moses, because every time when the FIFA date come, he told me he want to come, and sometimes
It's debatable.
Please calm down. Maybe you don't play the first game. No. If I come, I want to play. So
That's how it should be.
every time you want to play, every time you want to play for the Nigerian team, every time you want to win for the country. So I'm so proud of you.
Where is he gonna end up?
Moses is one of the established players in the team, no doubt. You played quite a few homeless players in the first game against Ghana. What do you think of the performances?
Wants to go back to England.
I think they need to improve. That if you want more for the Nigerian football, you need to give them a chance. You need to give them a chance.
Which one are? Me no answer, man. About the points are our next question.
So we need to have some player who can take his position. So we need to.
Yo, respect football. Respect for the super chat. Do appreciate it. Super sticker, whatever you want to call it. But thanks, bro. Respect. I want to see Promise David in this Gold Cup. That Canadian attack would be crazy. Yeah, Canada have some dogs coming through. David and David combo. CONCACAF rankings and FIFA ranking are different. Yes, they are. And that's why I was wondering if I don't believe that this would affect the CONCACAF points in any way. You know what I'm saying? But I know FIFA points are up for grabs. Cause but I knew that because they have official players playing. They're staying to the substitution policies and everything. So yeah, it can actually count as an official friendly. No, you sure? Oh, JD wanting Arsenal hijack or you wanting Arsenal hijack? From I've met you, you've been saying that he's the best option. Forget the Isaacs and the Yokeres and the Seskos. Just get Jonathan David at Arsenal. Combo should be dead at the Gold Cup, yeah. If Damari Gray goes back to England, it's probably League One. Damn, League One? BM, that's nah, you're crazy. I could see Champ, but I feel like he would go right back to the Prem, to be honest. I mean, maybe not like to no top club in the Prem, but I'm a lower tier club that's like, you know, like why wouldn't a team like West Ham buy a Damari Gray? Like why not? He's not done, you know. I think this season he definitely went through his issues with fitness and keeping his fitness, but I mean, yes, no goals, no assists. I get it, but I watched him play 2 games towards the end of the season, and it was looking like Demi again. Like the fitness, the movement, the running in behind, just the speed, everything. It was looking like Demi. Yeah, BM gone too far with that, man. I would settle for Mateta right now. Dude is a silent killer, bro. Goontown, there are so many strikers that I would get right now. I swear. I don't care who it is, but I just can't deal with the whole summer linked, and just linked, permanently linked, and don't never buy nobody. That me I worry about. Trust me. Man, I get no game. All right, so basically, you know, I won't play the rest of this. It's just about 4 minutes left. Well, let me hold on. I think there's one other thing I didn't want to hear. Hold on 1 second. Let's play it out.
The great football, this great Nigerian football, but every football needs to improve. So this is my vision because I work for the World Qualifier, but my job is to prepare maybe a future. And sometimes something happens because you are some injury, you are a lot of because this is not a FIFA date, some club don't want to give you some players, so you need to prepare some player who can play, who can give something bad, something good. So you need to prepare. 2 more questions, please. Yeah. Thanks.
This question is for Coach. Coach, as you kind of alluded to already, you said the players that are within the squad they need to impress you. Obviously, you're missing a couple of key figures like Olayin and Alex Iwobi. How important is it for those players within the squad now to impress you leading up to the World Cup qualifier against Rwanda?
We talk about this player. They are very good. Premier League in the league. So, like I said, our local player, need to touch always the high level. They need to touch always the international league. They need to touch that to improve. So Alex, Calvin, and Ola touch the high level. And I really think that they will have a tournament without a champion. So we got that too. And we have a lot of motivation about this unity.
So basically, I wanted to pause it there because you heard what he just said. The guy asking me, like, you know, how do you prepare the team without the likes of Ola Aina, Calvin Bassi, Alex Iwobi? And he said, well, to be honest, you know, we always knew that this Unity Cup would be about getting some local players to touch the international level, to touch the higher level, right? To try to get to that higher level, to give them the experience to get there. So sound very similar to what we hear from our coach when he talks about our local players as well. Now, the difference that I think that, you know, and he mentioned it in his answer there, they have the Chan tournament, which is basically an AFCON for the local players that would represent the country, right? And so, you know, I wonder, hearing that, would it make sense for even CFU to come up with their own tournament that would be basically geared towards players still playing in the Caribbean, right? So if you play JPL, if you play Trinidad Pro League, if you play, you know, any of the leagues in the Caribbean, right? Would it be good to have some kind of tournament like that, you know, like the old time Shell Cup, but make sure that the emphasis is on local players playing in the tournament? I wonder if that's something that the CFU and the MAs in the CFU could kind of come to, because, you know, I do think that Chan tournament is just a way where it keeps the fans of those teams, like the local fans, it gives them a way to celebrate their players at the international level. And at least they know they have a tournament that they can hold on to and know that they're gonna see their local stars playing in. Whereas with Jamaica, I feel like there's no opportunity for that really. And so when the teams come to get picked now, we want to give the players the international exposure in these big crunch games, which I don't know if those are the games we can take those type of liberties. So maybe that's something to think about moving forward, like a way to get opportunities for the local players to win a trophy with Jamaica. Would that look like some kind of CFU tournament happening again? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like the African nations have the Chan tournament, which is basically, the only stipulation for those tournaments is you have to be using players that are still playing, in that region. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a thought, people.
This team guy who can challenge these great guys like Moses, like Calvin, like AGT, like Victor. We need that. We need that. So, but we work about the Shan, we work about the World Qualifier.
11 a.m. tomorrow.
This is our goal.
Final question, gentleman on the back. Yes, based on the BBC World Service. I'm going to do what Uncle Daddy says and just direct the question to
True.
Moses at the risk of upset. Between Ghana and Jamaica, which, in terms of the victory, which one has more of a cultural impact and meaning for you? Because these are two of your arguably most fiercest rivals from a cultural standpoint. So, which one are not only yourself, but then the players in the dressing room, which one do they yearn for more?
I would say Ghana, because actually we are very close. And when we arrive, we have a jollof rice. Most especially the Jamaica, I would say that most especially is our fathers have this rivalry. And the Ghanaians, our father and we have this rivalry. It's not about war, it's all about who is better and who have the better jollof rice. So
So who has the best jollof rice?
You watch the last game.
Man, kill them. Man says, so who have the best jollof rice? Man say, you watch the last game, you see who win. Remember. Simon dropped the mic with that one there. So yeah, again, look, it's always interesting to me to hear two coaches talk before the same game. They did have some similarities in what they said. Want to look at players. It's really, getting the team prepared for like bigger hurdles and obstacles down the road. But in both of those press conferences, they did concede at some point that yes, it's a final and we want to win. So I think that's why the game should be a good game. At the end of the day, it's a final. And at some point in that game, no matter what kind of game model the coaches are working on and strategies and all that, there's gonna come a time in the game where they're like, all right, let's put the best tactics on the field to win the game. All right, and we'll worry about trying out these things later. So that's gonna happen at some point in the game. So it's just gonna be interesting to see how early in the game or how late in the game something like that happens, right? What time will be the Trinidad one? So the Trinidad game is 7:30 Eastern and 6:30 in Jamaica in the morning. So 6:30 in the morning for the Trinidad game, and 5:30 in Mountain Time AM mass. Jack Warner is criminal. Thank goodness Canadian in charge now. Yeah, well, when Jack was in charge, the CFU was strong, But yeah, he wasn't doing it by the book at all, that's for sure. All right, so first, before we go to no tactical part, people, I'll start break down the side them. The first thing I want to do, actually, before we even get to that, is just show you guys the squad that Nigeria brought and who these players are, what they do. I know we know the Jamaica squad for the most part because I don't even learn who is actually there. I think I have an idea, but I'm going to add them into the tactical part in just a minute. But before we head there, I just want to show you guys real quick who aren't familiar with this particular version of the Nigeria team. So I have the SofaScore pulled up, and I just wanted to show you guys who these players are. So Stanley Wabali is the keeper for Nigeria. He has been basically since the AFCON, right, when they got all the way to the final. But he plies his trade for Chippa United, that is in the Nigerian Premier League over there in Nigeria. I don't know where this sound is coming from, but we need to lock it off. All right, so this ain't the person that I want to see. This is the person. Yeah, so Chippa United. Sorry, they're in the South African. Sorry, that's my bad, people. I didn't mean to misspeak there, but the South African Premier Division, that's where Wabali plays. He's 28 years of age, big, huge unit of a person. Just looks like he could play American football, rugby, anything like that. But big dude, man. But I'm telling you, people, this guy has a mistake in him. He's a good shot stopper, will make a blinding save, but then letting a ball to his legs or take too long on the ball and all these things. So, yeah. How we get a Canadian leader is beyond me when we have more votes in CFU. It was corrupt as hell. You not learn FIFA corruption. And Warner went jail. So, yeah. Bring back Jack. Jailbird Jack. Leader of the Canadian Soccer Association was elected as president of CONCACAF in May 2016. Now it's ran better. I definitely see it getting more in line with like the other confeds around the world, for sure. Oh, you want to see the value of the players? We can look at that. Let's see, Nigeria. Let me see if they actually have the Unity Cup squad in here. So, yeah, so this is just 35 players in total. So it's not really the Unity Cup squad per se. But it looks like all of the players here are in the Unity Cup squad. So let me work with this. All right, so Wabali, he's actually the keeper that starts for them. So he's one of the players in the squad that definitely would be in the main team if we were playing them inside of a, quote unquote FIFA window, right? Then the back line now, you have Sadiq. He is, what you would call one of the local contingent. He plays for Remo Stars in Nigeria. He's only 22 years of age. He had an assist in the first game. Very, very energetic player. Definitely will cover the ground up and down the wing. But not the most experienced player. So really want to see that matchup if he does start again, with who I would start on the left, which we'll get to very shortly. Let's see. Then we also have Semi Ajayi. You know him. He plays for West Brom. Teammates this season with Mason Holgate for part of the season, but he is out of contract at West Brom basically, very soon. So interesting to see if he can get a permanent move somewhere in the summer. Ogbu, he's over at Slavia Prague. So he is in Europe as well. So two experienced players in the back line. They're center backs, two players that have been in main Nigeria squads of late as well. Also, they're left back. So really and truly, 4 of the 5 on the goalkeeper and the back 4 in the normal main Nigeria team. Bruno plies his trade in Greece for Olympiacos, 26 years of age now. Then we move into the midfield, and that's where they had some real strength with Wilfred Ndidi as the captain. Onyeka, who was playing basically at his parent club's home at Brentford, was on loan this past season. The team is eluding me right now, but hold on, let me remind myself. Onyeka, yeah, he was at Augsburg. So yeah, he'll be coming back to Brentford after that loan spell. He's 27 years of age now. Played in the Bundesliga last year. Solid midfield player. Then we move into So I said Ndidi, Onyeka, and then they had Papa Daniel. Now Papa Daniel is a player that they have high hopes for in Nigeria. He is actually still in the league over there, but has made the main team as well in the last World Cup qualifying window. So Eric Shell clearly sees something in the player, included him in what would have been their most competitive roster to make in the last window, his first window ever that he had as a coach of Nigeria. And interesting that he was able to am I making this up, or the man just played? No, man, he just started coaching. He just coached 2 games, 3 games now. So yeah, Papa Daniel, another one that getting a chance to get some more experience at this level. Then on the front line, a couple of more experienced players in Dessers and Chukwueze. Dessers at Rangers last season. He's now 30 years of age. I think he's one of those that would have decided to play for Nigeria a bit later. He's only on 6 appearances, making his debut in 2020. But he's definitely in a Nigeria team that, if it's one thing, they're not short of his strikers. So he's gonna find it tough when everybody's available to still be in the team. But he's a very good striker, Cyril Dessers. Then we have Chukwueze, AC Milan player. Didn't have the most prolific season this year. Probably would have wanted more game time, but there's quite a logjam of wingers at Milan right now. So no shame in not playing every single minute of every game for a club like Milan. Definitely a very good player. We've seen him over the years, Villarreal, AC Milan now. Been a very good European player, a very good player in Europe for a few years now. He's 26 years of age. Came up from Villarreal's academy right through and made the plunge over to Serie A with AC Milan. Then up front on the other wing, you had Sekiru. He is also a local talent from Nigeria, from the Nigerian Pro League, I should say, or Premier League. And he's typically a striker, but can operate off the left as he did in the first game of the Unity Cup. So that was the starting lineup in the last game. When you look at their bench and the players that came off the bench and the rest of them, you have Ahmed Musa. He's now playing back in his home country of Nigeria for Kano Pillars. Then you move into, let's see, Iheanacho. He's over in Spain now after leaving Leicester. I think he's at Sevilla. Yes, he's at Sevilla. Out of contract, actually. So interesting to see what his next move will be after spending that year in Spain. Then we have Moses Simon. He had a brilliant season over in France for Nantes. He's 29 years of age now, but he's probably the most informed player in this squad. When you look at the numbers, 8 goals, 10 assists in 32 appearances this season in the French league. So definitely did his thing. He's somebody that you could see starting when all the players are around. But he has a lot of competition in the attacking areas. That's one thing. They have a lot of good attacking players in their pool. Definitely a really deep attacking pool. Emmanuel Onyebuchi, he plays for Shkupi. Some of you might remember this club. This is a club that Ronaldo Cephas had passed through in his development in North Macedonia. He's 25 years of age in the team now. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is his first call-up of his career. So good for him to get into the team. He got a game as well. He's as you can see, he came on for Semi Ajayi, so he plays in defense as well. Then we have Ugwezi Collins. He's also from the Nigerian league. He's 24 years of age, a midfielder. He got a chance to get some time. Then you have Okoye Udinese, 25 years of age. Made 25 appearances as well this year in the league, but still can't get the game of Mabali from him. He's definitely the one for the future, though. Then you have Ojetoye, number 3. He didn't get any game time in the first game. He is a right back. Ojetoye. He's also in the Nigerian league, only 21 years of age. Then you have Nduka Jr., Remo Stars, another Nigerian local player, 23 years of age, another centre back. Nathan Teller, should know him from Bayer Leverkusen, decent season in the Bundesliga, not that prolific, but bags of pace for sure. Came to the system in England prior to moving to Germany. Remember him for Southampton, Burnley as well. Got to Leverkusen at the start of last season and just finished his second season there, 25 years of age. And you have Isaac Xavier, he's also in the Nigerian league, 23 years of age, another midfielder. Then you have Felix Egu, Werder Bremen. I believe this is his debut as well, if I'm not mistaken, for Nigeria. As you can see, he plays the left side of midfield, can also play wing back. Good player, decent, 22 appearances in the Bundesliga this year. And he's in the team as well. Didn't get on the field in the first game. Might see him for the second. And then this player right here, Tolu Arokodare, big season for Genk. 6'5", just another one of those huge strikers that in the ranks of Nigeria. Had a monster season in the Pro League this year. 21 goals scored, 5 assists as well in his 40 appearances. And he also was in the first squad picked by Eric Shell in those 2 crucial World Cup qualifying games when he took over the team. So, there's so many strikers, man. No Umar Sadiq in this lineup, no Victor Osimhen, no Boniface. Those are just 3 strikers off the top of my head that I've seen them use. And they actually have 3 very good strikers in this squad. So the depth in striking and attacking is kind of mad for Nigeria, honestly. But that is their main team, or not their main team, but that is the team that they brought to the Unity Cup. So let's take a look now on the tactical part at how I think they will set up for tomorrow. This coach likes to play a 4-3-3 situation or formation, I should say. Conrad says it's going to be war tomorrow. Blessings, Jordan. You'll never walk alone as usual. Big up yourself. The Nations League is a brilliant idea. Yeah, I don't want to take away the Nations League, I just want there to be a Caribbean Cup for like the local players of the Caribbean. That's all I'm saying. Oh, I never answered about Promise David. Yes, I was surprised that he was able to, the trajectory he's been on to go to Belgium and like just ball out like that. Yes, I was surprised. I thought maybe he would need a season to kind of, start putting up those kind of numbers. Just based on like how he had been going through his career. Sorry, I missed the I did read it, but I never answered it. But yes, I meant to. Sorry about that. First thing, damn Canadian get rid of our Caribbean Cup. Well, look, if getting rid of it meant to the Nations League, I understand. But my point is, forget Montagliani. That's not who we need. The CFU needs to band together and create something for the players that play locally in the Caribbean. And still let them represent the country doing so. But it's like, it's like what Africa has with the Chan tournament. They just use the players still playing over there in those countries. That's nice. Yeah, man, I'm going to run pan Jamaica. That is a fact. Master, please win it for them. Oh gosh, Frimpong talk. Yeah, it is a good league to find young talents. That's true. Yeah, Promise went crazy this year. I tell you what, them buying for, well, I tell you what, the club that they bought him from in, I think it was Estonia, they made a killing, and now Union gonna make a killing now too. Because they got him for 500 and he's gonna go for like 30 something at least. Okay, so Jordan and Moss doing the CL final watch along people. So they give them a strength. Moss Sports World and Jordan Hyman. Yeah, man. Big them up and give them a strength, man. All right, so that is what I wanted to show you in regards to their team. Just familiarize yourselves with the players, where they're playing, what they're doing, what they did this year, things like that. But now let's move over to the tactical pod, where we're gonna do the starting 11s, or what I think the coaches might go with tomorrow for the starting 11s. And I'm going to try to use what I heard in the press conference to pick the starting 11 for Nigeria first. So based on what I saw in the first game in terms of the players played, I think that their squad has enough in reserve that didn't play for this team to look very strong, even if the coach makes a lot of changes. So a part of me thinks that the coach is just gonna say, pretty much give chances to everyone in this damn tournament, right? So Dessers played the full 90. I wouldn't be shocked if we don't even see Dessers tomorrow, right? I could see him going for I could see him playing Toro instead tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not Toro, Tolu, because Tolu didn't get no game this last time. What you guys think? You guys think it's gonna be more keeping the same thing, or what? We better play 3-4-3 in attack and 5-2-3 in defense. With the talents available, we are going to need an extra man at centre back. Woo-hoo. So Wales, so I forgot change everything about tomorrow. I don't think that will happen, Wales, to be honest. I think a tweak will happen to the formation, but not the 4 shape change into a 3/5 shape. I don't think that will be the change. Did you watch the Nigerian coach a couple of days ago? The coach looked like he didn't respect Jamaica. No, I don't know if he doesn't respect Jamaica team. I just think he's more concerned with his own team, you know? Yeah, not tomorrow. But Andre Blake is back though. He is back. He played for Philly. I think it was Wednesday night. All right, so this is what I think Nigeria will go with, people. And I'm basing this off, like I said, you know, most of the players I didn't see in the first game. I think he'll give opportunities to others. So for those reasons, right, I think in goal he's gonna play Okoye, the Udinese player. So I think Okoye will get a chance, right? Now on the back line is where I think he might not be as, how can I say? I think he might not be as willing to make all the changes. You know, Ogbu started and played 90 minutes. I think Ajayi came off with about 8 minutes to go. And when you look at the back line, that the player that's left that didn't play is Ojetoye, who doesn't have much experience. So I think he'll probably go back with Semi to make sure that he has some experience back there. But I think he'll give a chance to this young man right here, Ojetoye, tomorrow in centre back. Now, the other left back in the team, let's see. The other left back in the team besides Bruno is Felix. And because Felix is a bit more of a winger, I feel like he's gonna, like Semi and Bruno on the back line, I think are the two that the coach is gonna say, okay, I know it's a friendly, but it is a final. So he's gonna find a balance. I think he'll play Bruno again at left back, probably along with Semi, the most experienced on the back line. Now, right back, he has a choice. Can go back for Sadiq, who started, or you might see him go for no, it wasn't Ojetoye, you know. That's who was going to play right back. Yeah. Ife and yeah. So it's between Junior. All right, so let me show you guys. Let me show you guys who I think it's gonna be. So yeah, this guy actually gonna play right back. Sorry about that. And then for center back now, it's gonna be between Junior and Ifeanyi. I'm just gonna go with Nduka Junior. I could be wrong on that. It could be the number 20 instead, but let's have a feeling like we're gonna see some changes. Not everybody. I think Bruno and Ajayi will play again, but Junior, Ojetoye, I think will start for Sadiq this time. And it will be Junior or Ifeanyi, I think, playing center back with Semi. Now, the midfield area is another area where I think he's going to try to strike a balance. Yeah, I think that's where he'll try to strike a balance between, like, the players that he knows and then trying to give opportunities. So, in the first game, we saw that he started Ndidi, Onyeka, and Papa Daniel in the midfield three. Ndidi was the captain, played the 90 minutes. The other two midfielders did get subbed off. Papa Daniel came off and Onyeka came off as well. I think in this game right here, I actually wouldn't be shocked if he played the exact same three in midfield from the start. Because I think that's the one area where maybe, they have Isaac Xavier who didn't get a chance yet. You could also see Felix Egu played in the midfield three on the left. But I think he's going to go back for Ndidi again. Remember, they don't have much to do after this cup. So, he might just play them as much as he can. Onyeka is in front of his home fans. And I think that he might, it's going to be either Isaac or Papa Daniel, I would think. So I'm going to say just because he might want to give a chance to someone else, I could see him putting Xavier in the midfield with it as a part of the three. But let's see. I just feel like he's going to make some changes. Now, up front is where I think he has the full license to change. So I think Tolo will start, right? Tolu will start, sorry. We saw Musa come on, but I don't think he will start. I think Moses Simon will start on this right-hand side. And I think that it's between probably Teller or Iheanacho. And I'm going to say just because he didn't get no game in the first game, Nathan Teller will get the start this time. So that is, I could see this being the 11. Now, I could get this totally wrong, but I'm just basing it on, like, I think he wants to see players as well. And I don't feel like changing the players that I change really makes them not good enough to win this final game, So this is what I think the coach might go with tomorrow. He has plenty of options, though. But that's just what I say he'll go with tomorrow. I could be wrong on this, but that's just my gut feeling. Now, for Jamaica people, because I have more knowledge of the players themselves, I am just going to say who I wish to see play, right? This is not about what I think the coach going to do. This is Jason Gooner's 11, right? So it's really easy enough, people, if you watch the first game. I'm making one change, and that's the goalkeeper, Tafari Chambers. But one thing we do have to do is some housekeeping to the squad. So I know, based on what I saw today, there's a player that I need to add, and that is number 15, Mothersill. So I'm in training with that number. So I'm going to assume that's the number he got. So number 15, Malik Mothersill. Who else was added, people? Atkinson, right? Busy Atkinson. Let me see. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there's no number 21. So let's just give Busy the 21 then. Busy Atkinson. wing. And is Hector officially added to the squad for real? That's what I'm telling me. We never hear nothing about him, you know. We just see him in the picture then. Dixon Morrison. Nice article in the Guardian today on the Unity Cup with Marcus Gale. Interesting remarks about the difference in nutrition between overseas and local. Boy, I wouldn't have to read the article to know that, but yeah, I look it up because I like. Actually, saw Marcus on a few platforms talking about Unity Cup. He's been a great ambassador for the cup. You know, I know he works with Brentford, so it's a part of why. But I mean, it hits closer to home for him for sure. Yeah, man, let them know BBK. Big up yourself, you know. Everybody, if you don't know, you know, BBK Sports, another great channel. Focus on Arsenal, but talks about EPL, does other sports as well. Basketball, if you're into NBA, talk about that as well. Fellow Gooner like myself, fellow Knicks fan like myself. So we kind of have the same thirst for pain. You know what I mean? Because if you're a Knicks fan and an Arsenal fan, my gosh, what a two team to pick. Jeez. So activity, respect for the super chat. Would really love for Jamaica to give it their all to win. Bright up the spirit for the whole country. So activity, that is it. That's what I love to see. Yeah, man, Nigeria is super deep. It's crazy. Maybe why Hector is there, but we could use Bell as a third CB. We could. All right, so it looks like Michael Hector is actually damn on the team, you know. Does that change anybody's lineups? So Hector, center back, or should I put him in midfield? All right, so Chambers in goal, people. No, this is my team, you know, my team. So if I'm picking a team, Bell, Lembikisa, Holgate, King. We're gonna play the same damn back four. The midfield, we're gonna play the same people, but it's gonna set up a little different. So last game we played just what you say, Nigeria playing 4-3-3, one a bit deeper in midfield, the other two a bit higher. I think for this game, where McCullough go? For this game, Isaac Hayden, and I would purposely play him on this left side, right? And I'll explain why. And then next to him, I would put Russell. Now, last game, Russell had license to get all over. This game, I would tell him to just be a little more cautious. So we're going to put him closer in line with Hayden here, just a double pivot type of thing. I'm putting Casey right back in this area, right? And then we'll go Dixon on the right again. A lot of people saying maybe Mothersill, Busy. I'm going to let the starting 11 start this game again. Like I said, everybody besides the goalkeeper. So let me know in the comment section, people, what you guys give this team. I mean, basically, it's the same 11. There is a tactical tweak, though. I want Russell to sit more and occupy more of a double pivot role with Hayden. Kind of gave him more freedom this last game. I think the numbers game will be required to switch that just slightly. So have that solid base when we're defending, right? We have these 6 players kind of, you know, back helping out with the numbers. I know Cephas is going to be mainly looking about going this way, right? And that's a part of the reason why I want Hayden closer to Bell. I think he has a bit more of the defensive mindset than Russell. So I think, you know, he'll pick up better when to really help out over here if he does get into 1v1s with Moses Simon or whoever is playing on the right-hand side for Nigeria. And I'm willing to live with that from Cephas because I feel like territorially, you know, you can expect Nigeria to be on the ball, you know, with a shape like this in possession, right? Onyeka pushed up, Xavier pushed up, you know, whichever side the ball is on, Teller might be making the extra central player. Let's say Simon has the ball out here, right? This player is advanced. Ajay, Junior, or whoever plays center back, all on the halfway line, right? But yeah, I mean, I could see like parts of the game in this shape. You know, they're passing the ball around. And for me, this whole area in behind, you know, especially when they're attacking on this side, even though I don't think Cephas is going to do enough of this, that's why I want to just shift the team into this shape, because even when we're getting overloaded over here, we can just shrink the pitch, get condensed, and we still have the coverage over here, and you're not dying just because Cephas ain't following this overlapping run. You know, the ball gets played down, Bell is there. I want Hayden to be able to slide, and Palmer is comfortable filling in. So, you know, I just feel like there's no point taking off this guy out of the team, knowing that we're going to play a team that's probably going to have this shape a lot of the time. Right? They're going to be in our half, possessing the ball, passing the ball around. When we turn them over, I want to have the outlet option, because I don't really think we're going to outpossess this Nigeria team. But what we can do is use their own aggression against them, because you know, tactically sometimes they do, you know, go on their own little tangents in the gameplay. And so I think spaces will be there in behind if we have the pace to exploit it. And, you know, if there's one thing that Cephas is going to bring is pace. So I just like the idea of having someone like him on that forward line against a team that I believe will have more of the ball than we will. And sometimes the benefit in that to a team like Jamaica is, you know, there will be those spaces in behind for our, you know, speedsters to run into and create havoc, right? So that to me would be what I would go with if I was coaching the team tomorrow. Some of you might think, thank God we have McLaren as the coach and not you. But to me, people, the team played well enough. I know it was Trinidad, but in terms of the outfield players, I was happy with everything that I saw in that first half. So I wouldn't change it. I want to see how that unit functions against some better opponents and see if it translates the same. That's why I wouldn't change anything. Now, one thing I love about the squad now that we've made these additions, I can see clear substitution patterns that we can use. So for me, in the second half of the last game, the midfield in particular got a little tired, right? Now, I think Hayden and Russell, it's going to be tough, because when I look in this team, the only other player I see that could fulfill that role to my liking, right, would be Brandon Cover, who has really and truly been playing right back for the most part in the last couple of seasons in club football. So would you guys be comfortable putting Cover in one of those pivot roles? I don't know. Then you have Ravel Morrison. We know he's a super ball handler, but one of the things we hated about some of his previous tenures with the Reggae Boyz was that he was always playing too damn deep. Now, the funny part about that is when he came on for Palmer the other day, who was playing, I don't think he was playing quite a number 10. I think it was more of a number 8, like his jersey number, because he did drop pretty deep into the field of play to collect the ball from time to time, did Palmer. When Morrison came on, he literally was wanting to be behind Hayden, collecting the ball from the back line, plus going up and passing and connecting. So he just goes wherever the ball is to get on the ball, right? Which in that moment was what we needed, because I thought the game was becoming very stretched, and Ravel just kind of slowed the game down a little bit. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if Ravel has another gear, because I saw mainly just him slowing the game down, being sure with the passes. I want to see him, you know, maybe taking it at people a bit more if he gets another chance tomorrow, which I think he will, but not from the start, I don't think. Then Michael Hector is there. Good shout. Somebody said maybe he's there to just have that cover to go in the back three. I think he's there just as cover, period. Holgate King did play the full 90. Holgate might not be able to last the whole 90. King, played a lot of football of late, traveled. So let's see. At least he knows he has somebody on the bench maybe that he trusts a little more than the likes of Stephen Young, Kyle Ming at this level, right? Greg Lee, obviously always there as a straight swap for Amari Bell. Interestingly, though, the last time he got on the pitch, he was deployed in a 2-all game as a left, basically playing where Cephas is on the pitch now. Now we have added the likes of Busy Atkinson. We have added the likes of Mothersill as well, and I think that makes it interesting for the substitutions off the bench because I heard that Warner Brown was there as well, but I don't know if he is actually there. So that would be the swap for Burrell typically. But we know Mothersill can play there where Burrell is. He can play where Cephas is, and where Palmer is in this system. Can also play off the right, but typically when he plays wide, it's off the left. So it's just going to be interesting to see where McLaren sees him being the most effective in this squad, because I do think that he will get an opportunity at some point tomorrow. I'd be very surprised if he started, but I could see him coming on and playing the Palmer role where you see him here. I could see him come on as a straight swap for Burrell, or I can see him wide right or left in the way we play on this system right here. But Malik Mothersill, another one to watch. If we saw how Burrell did, people were like underwhelmed. League One, Burton, 11 goals, that the most to write home about. Look at how he played and how we're praising him after that game. So just imagine Malik Mothersill, I think he was a candidate for Young Player of the Season in the entire league. 12 goals, 9 assists. So, he was really putting up numbers this season. Playing mainly wide or in the role that you see Palmer playing there, attacking midfielder. But definitely super, super talented. Came to the Chelsea Academy like Palmer. And yeah, just, I think he had a bit of unluckiness with some of the timing of his injuries when he was trying to break into the Chelsea team. But yeah, took a gamble on himself, went down a couple leagues, played last season, kind of was overlooked by the Peterborough Brass, to be honest. Got his start in the EFL trophy like many young players at those league levels do. But his performances in that, which led them to winning that competition, pretty much put him in the first team, I'd say about midway through the season. And he pretty much stayed with them in and around that first team, whether starting or coming off the bench for the whole entire rest of the season. Then going into this year now, pretty much established himself as a starting player, and his role has just grown and grown and grown in the team over this season and everything. So a lot of suitors looking at him, could potentially be leaving League One and going somewhere else, but we'll see how that plays out for him. But yeah, I definitely love the fact that we have a few more options off the bench. Like I said, Kova, Morrison, Hector, Mothersill, doing Busy Atkinson, Greg Lee. I think all of those players could feature tomorrow at some point if some of them don't start as well. But for me, this is how I would set the team up. So let me go back to the comment section and see what people are saying about that. My score prediction tomorrow, Young Cryptic. I believe we're going to see an exciting game. I think it's going to end in a draw in real time, and I don't believe they'll be playing any extra time. So I think Jamaica is going to win on penalties, bro. Yep, it's going to be exciting. Jamaica win on penalties. I could see it being 1-1 or 2-2 maybe, but I think the match will draw. Yes, I saw that, Nitro. Big up to the fans over there filling up the stadium. That is great. Respect again, Swamptivity. I read it. I'll read it again. Up Gooner. Would really love for Jamaica to give it their all to win. Bright up the spirit of the whole country. If we start the same team, Bar Davis, I'm kind of concerned about the miles being put on Hayden's legs before the important games next week and beyond. Goontown FC, that might be one of the best takes I've seen about me not doing what I want to do with the team. Now, the only thing I'll say to that Goontown, right, is Isaac Hayden didn't play a game since I think May 3rd, and we're now to May 30th. And the only reason why I would say to do it and just watch him in terms of the red line with him staying on for the whole game, he's gonna have a window coming up where I believe we're gonna want to use him in both games on the 7th and the 10th. And that's a quick turnaround. So with him having so little games under his legs for the whole month of May, I don't mind kind of shocking his body into seeing how he reacts to these two games, 3 days apart, right? 4 days apart. So that's the only reason I really want to try to fast track the fitness for the games on the 6th and the 10th or whenever the 2 dates are. I don't remember. It's got to be 6th and 10th, right? It's not 7th and 10th, is it? Oh yeah, yeah, man. Make sure you check it out, man. Very, very. I love what I'm doing program. Very knowledgeable. I think we should be doing some content pretty soon together as well. So big up to BBK every time. Tony Claude was there. All right, mad. Happy busy. Finally get his chance. Yes, this man been unlucky with injuries, man. Oh, Goontown, you're a Knicks fan too? John Star. Why we love punishment so much? What time is the game tomorrow? Eastern time. 12 midday Eastern time. Looks like Chambers will start. I hope so, Float. I hope so. Yeah, Pinnock is not there. He's getting the extra time. I was kind of surprised by that, just based on him not getting that much game time in the Premier League to end the season. I thought maybe he would want to kind of, get something under his legs, but I mean, hopefully that just means, he's locked in for the qualifiers and the Gold Cup, I'm hoping. You know what I'm saying? King did well last match. Yes, he did, Mas. That is true. Still feel like his defending itself could have been better, but, yeah, but I don't have a choice in that though, Peter Mystic. I chose Arsenal and I chose the Knicks and I chose these other teams. So with the Reggae Boys, it was always going to be the Reggae Boys. So it is what it is. CJFF is no liar. When we need replacement when games are in Jamaica, we use JPL. Game in London, we draw for Hector. Yeah, hey. I guess that's one way to look at it for real, Rob. Like when them in Jamaica and them draw for a JPL person, that just goes to show they're in England, them draw for, Mothersill, who I think they would have wanted there if his papers were over the line right away. But I think it might have just taken a little bit longer. And yeah, Michael Hector, bring him in. Him have passport, he's there. Why not? I see him doing more of keep. Okay, so Float, I put her in detective eye. Him say, yo, when I watch the little clips them, it looked like Chambers was involved in more of the stuff, all right? No, don't change my lineup. Yeah, I wouldn't change it either. Noon Eastern, 10 a.m. Yes, thank you for the times for everybody. 10 a.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Jamaica time, I believe. Yes, Jamaica time is 1 hour ahead of Mountain. That is true. No Nicholson either. No Bailey either. They didn't go to the Unity Cup. If you're going to ask Russell to, I would just play Ravel for ball retention. Oh, you say if I'm going to ask Russell to sit. Well, when I say sit, I mean, not to the point where he's like the double pivot, but I just want him to have a little more control than in the first game. It just seemed like in the first game, it was like, yo, just get into the box every chance you can get. I don't know if that should be the case this time. You know what I'm saying? That's all. So I don't want it to be just like sit with Hayden. No, but he has to be more wary of just running forward. I would normally start him, I would normally start him conflicts, but I feel like I wouldn't start him for tomorrow though. Like I would give Dixon Cephas the chance to start again. Like I said, I liked what I saw. Okay, so Travis would start back Davis, but him have the rest of them starting. Okay, cool. Yeah, Burrell played in the Scottish Championship actually. Or it might have even been Scottish League One, Yeah, he started the first game and looked really good against Trinidad. So, when I look at the other strikers in the team, Mothersill is can play there, but he ain't really a striker. So I would just give Burrell a run again. Like I said, I would like to see them play the same team play against a better opponent, which is what Nigeria will be. So that's really my thinking. Like, if this is really about finding, the 2 to 3 players, as the coach put it in the press conference, to add to what is your core and what you think your Gold Cup and World Cup squad is going to be, then I would want him to just give the players the most chance to impress. So play about the same. Yes, we do need an next CDM. It's no question about it. Is there another CDM that could play? Yo, Cornflakes, man, you don't have to try sell the player to me, bro. Trust me. I've been saying this player should be in and around the team for a good little while now, especially maybe not so much last season, but this season, when I see how him game step up and how he's like become the man at his club, yeah, it's a no-brainer now. It's a no-brainer now, especially since you see where this Palmer player is in the system, Casey Palmer. The minute I saw him start playing right there, so for Peterborough and raking in the assists and the goals, I was like, yo, that's exactly what we need in that area right there. Like a player who can easily become a secondary striker, right? Can also just play the cam itself. And then not only that, he's very comfortable running out wide in channels. And I think at times he's going to run beyond Burrell, So I don't even think we have another cam that has his actual skill set as a player of all the players that we have. So yeah, Mothersill, the main thing with him is just gelling in with the team as quickly as possible. I feel like his skill set meshes a lot with how we play. So I don't think it should be too hard to integrate him. It's just about the relationships with other players, players learning his tendencies and things like that. But yeah, man, I think the faster we get him in the mix, the better. And I just hope I would be shocked if he didn't play tomorrow at some point. I just don't think he's going to start. Especially like knowing that he just got to training not too long ago and stuff like that, So I just don't think he'll start, but I definitely think he'll be on the field at some point. But yeah, like I said, I think the match going to draw people and Jamaica going to win on penalties. That's my prediction for tomorrow. I'll say 2-2. I'll say 2-2 Jamaica penalty win. That's what I'll go for, people. Pure drama. Yes, people. But to be totally honest, this is what I see for tomorrow. I do think the coach from Nigeria is going to want to give opportunities to players that he has brought, and also balance that with trying to win, right? So, I give starts to Junior, Xavier, Ojetoye. Those would be the 3 kind of Nigerian-based players playing. I think Okoye will get a look as the other goalkeeper in the squad that's there. I'm not sure, I'm not sure because a part of me thought maybe he didn't play Kova because Kova wasn't in the 60-man provisional. But then Ravel came on and he ain't in the 60-man provisional. Then I was thinking maybe he just wanted to see if Hayden and Russell could play a full 90. And that's why he didn't change them. Then I was thinking maybe he wants to get the fitness in Lembikisa to play a full 90. That's why I didn't use him there. But I'm not really sure where the coach sees Kova as a player. He was listed as a midfielder in the actual squad. So, I'm assuming he will play midfield, right? So maybe he doesn't kill off Hayden's legs and he doesn't start him. I would be shocked if Hayden don't start. But I would think if he's gonna come on, maybe he would come on for Hayden, before the end of the game, because 290 minutes for Hayden in 4 days it would be, I think. That's a bit much. That's a bit much. Bless up DJ Gigs. Oh, go on. So who I have scoring for us? Good question, Demo. So the goals. All right, so I'm gonna say Ronaldo Cephas gets a goal. No more penalty creation. This time he actually scores a goal. And I'm gonna say that off the bench, Cephas and I think we'll get a second half goal too. I'm gonna say Cephas, and we're actually gonna score from a set piece. So I'm gonna say Cephas and like Holgate from a set piece. Random. Two. Well, one very random goal scorer. But Cephas and Holgate. Swam TV said 2-1 Jamaica. All right. 16 goal, 10 assists, Madison, not bad at all. Yeah, man, he scored and did a lot of shit this year in our competition. I think it was 12-9 in the league and 16-10 overall. I'm anticipating a good match if Jamaica try keeping the ball better and tracking. All right. Yeah, tracking got very difficult for us to do in the second half. So I'm hoping with the added bodies in the bench, the coach trusts the bench a little more and, yeah, I watched him quite a bit this season because I really want, Is Hector really in the squad or is he just working out with the team? Peter Mystic, I'm not sure because the JFF, as far as I'm concerned, the JFF, I remember one time I put out something and somebody reached out to me and said, if you don't see us put it out, it didn't happen or it's not true. So I haven't seen the JFF put out anything about the players that have been added. I've seen it on TVJ, I've seen it on multiple websites, I've seen it on multiple Instagram posts from people that these players are added, but the JFF themselves have not let me know. So Peter Mystic, based on what I've been told in the past, Mother Seal and Busy ain't even there either because the JFF never put it out. So I don't know, Peter Mystic. I'm confused. I haven't made my graphic on here, which is probably why you're asking, but I'm just working with the people I saw. Based on my thumbnail, you're part of the Cell King campaign too. Say that picture was just a picture. I think it was the picture that was like the picture from like the full-time picture, the 3-2 picture when the game was done. And it just fit the box really nicely that I was putting it on the thumbnail. So I just used that. But bro, it's so crazy, DJ Geeks. Like when I don't think enough about like that message I'm sending out, because some people probably would take the time and say, no, I have to make sure I don't put, I have to make sure I don't put a local player, and I have to make sure I don't put a heritage player, but I don't really care. Literally, that was more about what would look better on the thumbnail, and that picture just had less stuff to worry about. It was just one person, so it just made sense. But yeah, you see. But Gigs, the funny thing is, you say this as a joke, but some people probably would see it and think like that's why or something. But bro, I don't think about it that deep, I swear. Interesting that I'm now watching today's training session with Stephen Young and Brandon Cova in Pink Bibs along with the other players that started versus TNT. Ooh. The Pink Bib, no bib question is always a thing you can use, but I mean, there might have been another time of training when it wasn't like that. Know yourself, say Burrell scoring again. Burrell definitely scoring again. Would like to see Mothersill in the game tomorrow. Yeah, man, I think he'll play. Hope Steve really, how easily possible we are when players move the ball quickly around us and fix the tracking and marking. Well, Shower Curtain, to be honest, in the first half, Trinidad was doing the same kind of slick thing like the second half, But but the block was working in a way that when they wanted to play any kind of forward pass from the midfield to the forward line, we did a great job of blocking the lanes for those passes. When we got tired in the second half, those lanes got bigger and wider, and they could play those forward passes. So yeah, I think they just have to keep their shape longer in the game. I thought the first half was a lot better, and when they got to us in the first half, it was mostly from one player driving. It wasn't really like them just cutting through us with passing, whereas in the second half, they were like just cutting through us with passing some of the time. Burrell definitely scoring again. I read that already. Cephas got score. I thought so too. Swam Activity. We need to call Mothersill. He's there. Or we need to cap him. Yeah, man. Roman Burrell on the double, and Cephas scores 1. Jamaica wins 3-2. Wells, I would take that. Peterborough posted that, man. I said, yeah, I saw that. So we can work with that, because we saw it from Peterborough. But even then, JFF might say, hey, we never say it. Palmer and Burrell, 2-2, like you said. Okay. So Casey Palmer and Roman Burrell says Mas, 2-2, and then penalty. I'm assuming you're saying penalty win for Jamaica like me, Mas. I hope. Let me know, Mas. Anyway, people, that's about it, Starting 11 in the bag. Key players. I didn't mention the key players. Let me mention that before I jump out of the building for the night. So, key players, people. For me, the key players in this game are going to be Ronaldo Cephas, because I think that Ronaldo Cephas, I'm putting my neck on the line for this kid or this young man, because a lot of people think we're gonna lose out on that side because of his lack of defensive work, or defensive awareness. And while I concede that he's not the most aware player defensively, I just feel like he's threatened behind against a team that I think going to have the ball more than us is going to be a great equalizer for us in terms of chance creation, right? So I would start him, and I think he's a key. If he plays well, if he can time his runs properly like he did in the first game, if he can pick his spots when to, maybe cheat a little bit on the counter, and also when to not cheat on the counter and actually track back with whoever plays right back on the day or whatever midfielders get into that area overloading Bell, then I think we'll have a much better time of it. My other keys to the game, people, is going to be basically the two players that I think in moments looked good, but in other moments looked really bad. And as a centre-back pairing, and that's Holgate and King. And the reason why I go straight to them is one of the things I noticed with Holgate and King was they really were a bit disconnected at times in where they were in terms of the levels on the pitch. So you'd see Holgate, actually for the first goal, Holgate ran out of the line at first, recovered, but never really got back in tune with King. I think a part of that is just communication. Very rarely did I see them actually talking to each other. They spent a lot of time talking to their wing back. They spent a lot of time talking to the midfielders ahead of them. But in terms of talking to each other, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but very rarely did they say anything to each other at all. They just were kind of going about their business. And I think that's kind of impossible. If you're going to play centre back with someone, you guys need to be communicating constantly, because when Holgate steps, he needs to at least tell him, hey, I'm going to go step here. When he's retreating now onto the back line, King and him need to be communicating where he needs to stop, turn and fit, So I just want to see them communicating more. Maybe I missed it. Maybe it's something I'm making up, but I just didn't see them communicating enough as a centre back pairing, Let's see. All right, yes, him say it, CONCACAF bros, big up. This Nigeria team and Jamaica is similar. Both teams are hyped up in terms of players on paper, but never show it on field. High hope are always there for them, but never play up to standard. Shower curtain, boss, that's not a bad analogy in terms of the two teams in their respective regions, because I know there's levels to the two regions and whatever. Nigeria on paper and ranking is better, but when you put it in the context of like where they play in AFCON AFCON for one and CONCACAF in the other, they're both teams that are considered some of the better teams in the region altogether. Nigeria probably higher than what Jamaica is in CONCACAF, but basically it always seems like people fear Nigeria in the AFCON region in terms of when they look at the squads, they're like, damn, even earlier today in this Unity Cup squad, my sports world who watch a lot of football and know a lot of players, the man said, damn, Nigeria's squad is deep. Even this squad right here. So that should show you. And Jamaica the same. I mean, when all the heavy hitters get back now with some of the additions that we've just had, it finally will be a time where I don't think the 23 just picks itself. Like players are going to have to be performing to make the 23, much less make the 11. So yeah, I do see the similarity on what you're talking about, Shower Curtain Boss. That is true. That is very true. Basically, they're second teams when you take up. Exactly. Both teams, second teams. Yep. The boys also have a strong support as Jamaica section is sold out. Crazy, crazy vibes today. Yes, sir. Morrison, as a key player, Well, I think Morrison will come off the bench. I don't think he's necessarily one of my key players for tomorrow. But I do feel like he'll be a part of the story for sure. He'll come on, and depending on what we need from him, that's what he'll bring. That's the one thing about Ravel. Like he realized the game needed a little bit of a cooler head to come in, and he provided that. Slow the game down. Yes, I think he will play for sure. I think he will come off the bench again. And he could start even, but I kind of want to see the coach go back with the same 11 on the pitch, outfield, and just change the goalkeeper because I thought he was terrible. So shower curtain, you start Davis again too. Cause I put in Chambers, brother. Might as well give him a chance because Davis, we had never really seen Davis get a chance in a game at this type of level. And he just did not look comfortable. And the fact that Chambers was starting in the playoffs all through the JPL playoffs took Shaquan Davis' spot. I mean, I think it would be a travesty to not give Chambers a chance in this cup after seeing Davis play the first game. I just think at this point you have to see what Chambers can bring. Because with Blake being back, Jamali Wade pretty much having the second string, pretty much Chambers and Davis are fighting for that third string spot. And I know the third string is not, it's not like the end all be all because very rarely would that person play. But then, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yeah, man, I agree. Davis have to bench for me, bro. Same team, then sub him. Exactly. Because they play on the same team at Mount Pleasant and the man take him game. So then when they go national team, how the other man to start over him? I don't know, brother. Blake legend, that is it. Chambers organizes his wall better and he's great distributor of the ball. I say Chambers and Mothersill should start. Well, Cornflakes, I agree with you on one of them. And to be honest, if Mothersill starts, I would not be upset. But here's my thing, Cornflakes, man. My team on the screen right now, Cornflakes. Mothersill starting, so who you taking off? No, Davis was not too good. That's you're putting it very nicely. Yeah, I was wondering which Davids, because he was good. But yeah, Davis and Moss is a neutral fan. Just watch the game. Okay, so it a bench Dixon. All right, fair enough, because of all the players out there, that's the one that I would say, okay, I can understand why you're saying that. But the only reason I wouldn't, well, not the only reason. One reason is because I just feel like the guys who started the game and how they played the first half, they kind of deserve to run it back, But another part is I think Mothersill of the four positions up front that we have right there, like the attacking midfield, the striker, the left and the right side. I think the right side is the weakest of the four positions for him. So if he's making his debut for Jamaica, I just wouldn't want him to play there, But let's see. Wouldn't it be better for Mothersill to start in a game like this? I don't know. Why you think it would be better for him to start in a game like this? You mean just like what he brings for him to start? What's a deep play? But let us see. I honestly, I see what you say, know yourself. Again, it's just a part of me just like, I just want to recreate what I felt in that first half, how we played. So I just want to see if these guys can do that against this team. Maybe I'm just overplaying the first half, or I don't know. But I just feel like neither Dixon, Burrell, Palmer, Cephas played 90, so maybe he won't get the 90. I just think those four spots will probably get subbed. So at some point, those players you want to see will come on. I've liked Dixon and Hayden when seen, and I've seen Palmer lots in EFL. I always liked. Shower curtain say, I honestly think Cephas down the middle is more dangerous than the wings if he can get consistent distribution. Yeah, he looked decent through the middle in the game. I mean, he did have the back heel chance, the left foot shot. I mean, he definitely had some opportunities through the middle. And maybe, one of the biggest fights we have with Cephas is his link up ain't the best. If he's playing through the middle, it eliminates some of that link up, But I think we lose what Burrell give us with the back to goal with Cephas doing that, because Cephas ain't going to do none of that. He just going to want the ball played over or through. So it's it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off. But still is an IQ baller. I'll give him that for sure. I mean, he's a baller, period. He's a good player. The Nigerian setup you have, that's how deep they play. Oh. No, it's just, I didn't really even mean for them to be so deep. It's just, I don't know why I have it like that. It's really more like this. I was wondering like what you were talking about. But yeah, no, it's just the way I had them at the time. No, they're not going to play that deep. But yeah, it's just, I was just trying to show you the 4-3-3 setup so you could kind of tell. But yeah, no, it's not. No, I didn't mean to have Indeed way back here, so like that. No. As a matter of fact, he'll probably be in our half most of the time. All right, I'm glad I figured that out, some activity. Because I wonder what the hell you're talking about. I agree with maintaining how we started in the first game. I'm praying we replicate on another level as well. Yeah, know yourself. That was my main thought process. Like, too many times I watch Jamaica play, we do something good, and then the next game we see something totally different. The coach changed this man, that man. I liked if they can bottle up that first half, what they were doing, and just try to replicate it against a better opposition. I just wanted to see them try it, And if anything, halftime we'll make some change. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully the game not done by then. But yeah, I'm okay if he starts the same outfield. I don't think he will, because in a tournament like this, it's so rare to play the same team twice. But we'll see. We'll see. I mentioned in the JPL players that commented was saying that Davis not playing wasn't for football reasons, and such man was saying I worry about the wrong thing. Yeah, no, I heard some madness about okay, so I've heard a couple of things. One person tried to tell me that that's Mount Pleasant philosophy. When the playoffs forward, them just let the second guys play the last games, and if him do good, him keep the job. I was like, that don't make no sense. Then another thing I heard was in kickoff with Tapper, which, I mean, whenever people tell me that something behind off the field happen, unless I can get like knowledge from someone that work at the club, then it's just kind of, I can't really run with that because I don't know enough, But the only thing that makes sense to me is Chambers got a chance towards the end of the season because I think Shaquan had already broken the clean sheets record and everything, so they wanted to just let this other guy, and I think like he played like 9 games or 8 games, they probably had a clean sheet like 6 of them or some shit like that. So yeah, he just was playing lights out, and when it came down to it in the playoffs, when you lose and you're out, they never put Davis back in the team. So, all the way through to the finals, he never played. He only came on for the penalty shootout, which they ended up losing. Yeah, man, Teller and Simon going to be problems. And if they don't play, it's going to be Chukwueze and Ian Nacho. Or, they have like 4 wingers that are dangerous. Mother still in top form in same league as Burrell. I just pray he comes up firing to show people how good he is. Yeah, me too. Nigeria coming to win this game. They're coming for the win and saying we're not all that. So let's see the tactics and how we manage a fit team with this midfield. We know are going to be a make or break. Yeah, look, I think Russell, people are going to be watching him with scrutiny tomorrow when Ravel comes on against this opposition. If he doesn't start, they're going to be watching him. I think Palmer as well, because Oral Tracy say, yo, he's a flat track bully. He can only do it against scrub teams. So yeah, a lot of people watching how Palmer play tomorrow compared to Trinidad. So yes, it should be an interesting one, people. I'm just sad I won't be able to bring you the action with a live watch along with my commentary, with my takes during the game. But definitely tomorrow night I'll be back for a post-match show. We'll have the tactical pad back up again. I'm actually going to leave this on the screen and see how poorly I did in predicting the 2-11s, because I'm sure I'll have some of this wrong. Just because it's Unity Cup, it's very hard to kind of figure out what the coaches are thinking. But yeah, this is what I'm going to say I think might happen. So we'll see how close we are tomorrow, people. But listen, it was my pleasure to bring you this content. I see 60 of you strong in the building. We really do appreciate all the people that have been tuned in. taking in the program. Big up to Mass Sports World. No dog in this fight. Not a Jamaica fan, not a Nigeria fan, but in the building because we're talking about football. So yeah, that is wonderful. We love to see it. Hopefully more like Mas can be drawn to the content, because to me, the different perspectives always make the conversation them nice, because Mas in here talking with a bunch of yard people about football, bringing his perspective. We see him and BM have some talk as well. So yeah, man, this is the type of things we love to see. When we can bring people together through football, we love that. We love that. So we're almost to the 100 likes, people. I'm sure we will get there. I'm sure this video will have shelf life before the game. People will want to see what Jason Gooner think about this game before the game. So people, I don't want it stretched too long so that it have a little watch back value. So big up to each and every one of you that tuned in. Travis Pesso, you're late, but big up yourself, same way, my boss. Jamaica forward to lose, lie down and dead, man. Jason, when the coach says he's only looking for 2 to 3 players in World Cup and Gold Cup squad, but there's more than 3 good players that should be in the squad. Yeah, look, I think he's going to have to reevaluate what his core is, because I think more than 2 or 3 from this squad that hasn't been in the squad before could be there. I'm not worried about our middle now in terms of how fast we move to support on and off the ball. For some reason, we can't keep up with quick 1-2s around us and seem too easy to break through, and that's a problem. Yeah, we could do it like a technical athlete in there too, Yeah, man, you are a CONCACAF fan. That is true. You will fly the CONCACAF flag for whichever CONCACAF team is out there. That is a fact. Big up yourself, Michael Garden, in the building. Yeah, man, we're close, man. We need about, I think, 16 more likes. So, people, on the way out, please do smash up the like button, share, and subscribe. In the comment section of this video, when it's done, if you're watching it back, leave your score predictions for the game. I will leave mine as a comment as well. You guys do the same just to keep the show going even after we lock off the video. So big up on yourself, BBK Sports. Thanks again for tuning in, bro. Link me. Make sure we can sort out that. Definitely can't wait to talk some football with you on your channel. Big up to BM in the building. Big up to Mass Sports World again. Big up to the two viewers tonight that did drop some monetary support. Big up to Football One for the $5 and big up for the $4.99 Swamptivity. Really do appreciate the super chat. Also, people, remember times again, as Mas told us before, we have 10 o'clock Mountain Time AM, 11 o'clock Jamaica time, Central Time. That is the kickoff, and 12 o'clock Eastern Time if you're in the US on the East Coast. 9 o'clock on the West Coast, that will be the final time for Jamaica versus Nigeria. The Reggae Boyz versus Super Eagles. Dancehall Reggae versus Afrobeat. Rice and Peas versus Jollof Rice. Yo, Jano, I'm running out of things. What else I can say? Ricardo Gardner versus JJ Okocha. Yeah, man, we can say all kind of things. But people, tomorrow it's about football on the pitch. Brentford G-Tech Stadium should be a great atmosphere. Big up to the Reggae Boyz fans in London, in the UK, that turned up Tuesday and that have sold out the Jamaica section of the stadium for tomorrow. I know it will be a great atmosphere. Can't wait to watch it, people. And like I said, tomorrow night, same place, not quite the same time, but around that same time, Jason Gooner will be back for his full post-match analysis, player ratings, everything. I should have the chance to watch the game twice by then. So yes, I like to see the game a couple of times before I bring some analysis to you. So people, look out for that tomorrow. Hopefully we might can cut up some clips again like we did last time and look at them. If not, I'll do a good job of explaining it on the tactical part. But either way, people, this is the place to be after the game when you want that true footballing conversation. Yeah, man. And tomorrow during the post-match as well, I will definitely open up the phone lines to make it a little bit more inclusive. Once I give my take on the game, I will open the line so that those watching can call and give their take as well. So you guys have a chance to let me know what you saw in the game tomorrow night and let the people know what you saw in the game tomorrow night as well. All right, people. So again, big up on yourselves. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let's do one last live check, see if we got any closer to the 100 likes. Ooh, we're only 11 away, people. So yes, while we're saying our goodbyes, just get us up to that 100 likes, people. It is doable. I know we can do it. But thanks again, anybody that we gained as subscribers, we really do appreciate it. I'm sure we gained a few tonight. It was a great discussion. Glad so many of you stuck around and had a discussion with me. But big up to each and every one of you. As I said, you guys are all superstars in your own right. But at the end of each video on the channel, you will hear these words. My name is Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. And come on, you reggae boys. We're all